When I started Pipal Tree around 7 years back, my objective was very clear. I wanted to a social but self-sustainable organization. So two contradictory objectives. One is self-sustainable so that we have to make profits, but at the same time social. And the mission was to train school dropouts from villages and give them jobs with the construction industry. And why construction industry? Because those youths, they are comfortable working in fields, so they can work in, they are comfortable working in soil, so they can certainly be comfortable working in construction industry, where there is a lot of dirt, cement, dust, all that is there. So with that objective, then I said it's pretty simple, so why not to train some youth from villages and directly deploy them. So I trained around 40 students from Andhra Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh, and then I approached the construction companies saying that can you recruit them, can you deploy them? And that's when I got my first shock. All construction companies said, we don't take people on our payroll. We have contractors, we have subcontractors, we have subcontractors, and eventually all these people work on the payroll of petty contractors. Now when it comes to petty contractors certainly they don't give damn to the social causes, social issues, they don't give them provident fund, then they don't give them wages on time, and all the other issues are there. They don't give them career path. They normally treat them as labor. Now our students, they said, why should I get trained? If I have to work as labor with petty contractor, why should I get trained? Why are you wasting my time? So then we thought about it and we said the only option seems to be that we become contractor ourselves. So then we became contractor ourselves, and over next 5 years, then our youth, they started constructing buildings for large companies. We work only mostly with the large construction companies. So they started constructing buildings for companies like Tata Housing, Shapurjis, Lodhas. They do plumbing, painting, tiling, waterproofing and other work for most of these companies. Not only that, our youth, they construct minor bridges, we construct culverts, we operate toll plazas, we maintain roads for many large infrastructure companies which you know, like Lanco, NCC, KMC, Basin and many more. Things look fine, okay. However, during all this journey, I had one basic assumption in my mind. I was thinking that why I'm doing it. Why I'm doing it, why Pipal Tree is doing it is so that we can give them the decent wages, and as you give these decent wages to this youth, then that money will reach their families, right? That money will reach the kids who are getting educated, that money will reach the families whose health care will be met, and eventually that's how it will help us meet our social objectives. And I was holding that assumption just about 2 years back. 2 years back, I was visiting our construction site in Ahmedabad, Tata Housing construction site, and I saw one of our workers carrying a 20,000 worth mobile, smartphone. And I knew that this boy is from Jamui. Jamui is one very poor district in Bihar. I knew he is from poor family. He had joined us just 4 months back. How can he afford to buy a mobile worth 20,000 rupees? So obviously, then I checked with my supervisors. And frankly, that's when I got shocked. My supervisors told me, sir, all our workers, as soon as we deposit money in their accounts, within 10 days, they withdraw that money, they take that money, sometimes they take couple of days vacation and then they splurge that money going in cities. I said, then what about the money to send back to families? They said they take the money back with them when they are going back home. Okay, they go normally once 6 months or once a year. Or when there is some need in family and then they call them that there is emergency. So then I said, fine, let me go back and start checking my assumption. So during my visits to our training centers in villages across 8 states, I started checking, I started validating my assumption. And then I realized that's the common phenomenon in the main in this bottom up pyramid, which we call it as poor. Majority of men, what they earn, most of the money they want to spend for their personal needs. Obviously, which we call it as might be drinking, gutka or whatever they want to spend it on. Unlike women, who spend most of the money on the family needs, on kids' education, on health, or whatever is required for the families. So having got that real idea, then I said, okay, there is something which we have to do really to create employment for women. Obviously, we all along we knew that we probably can't create employment for women in construction because of the migratory nature. The women will not be willing to migrate, right? Then the only option for us was that to give them jobs which are closer to their home. So I said, okay, let's start one pilot. We always say that let's start a pilot and see. So we started one small pilot. Fortunately, that's the time when we became painting contractor for Asian Paints. So, and we had many projects in Hyderabad which we are doing. I said, let's do one pilot. Let's send 20 ladies from villages near Hyderabad on painting skills. We trained them and we said, you have to work on this site in Hyderabad. They said, okay, we'll work, provided you give us pick up and drop facility, because it's around 30 kilometers from Hyderabad. They said, you have to provide us pick up facility. We agreed. To my surprise, within 3 months, all those ladies picked up skill very well. They were not only doing sanding, they were doing putty work, they were doing primer, they were doing first paint. Not only that, they were even giving the finish coat very well. So I was very happy. I said, okay, this pilot is working. And then I said, I was just raring to start another project. And that's when I realized that we started another pilot for masons. Parallelly, we had started one pilot for 10 ladies as mason. Again, the same pick up and drop in facility. And I said, let me go and visit that site. It's only 10 ladies, so I just decided to dash in and give a surprise visit to the construction site. And that is when I got my third shock. When I visited the site, I saw all those 10 ladies, they were doing unskilled labor work. They were mixing cement and sand, they were carrying it, or they were carrying bricks. I called my supervisor. I said, why are these ladies doing unskilled job? Why are they still doing labor job when we trained them and we put them here 4 months back? He said, sir, ये ladies, ये क्या skill काम करेंगी? ये तो helper का ही काम कर सकती है. Obviously, I got upset, I got quiet, and then I told my people, ये supervisor को transfer कर दीजिए दूसरा side पे. Okay, that was my immediate reaction. But when I thought about it, I realized it's not the problem of that supervisor. It's the mentality of males or men, and especially as you go to the bottom level. When I again thought about it, how we can address is the only option is if I run the construction site which is a ladies only construction site we call it as, where there are more than 80% ladies, so ladies are in majority, men cannot dominate them. Where ladies are in majority, where my supervisors are also ladies, then only this will work. Otherwise, men will always try to dominate them and I can't control them. So having thought of that, then as usual again I said, now I have to do a pilot, which is ladies only construction site. So visited all our large construction companies, talked to them, and I said, Can you give me one ladies only project? By the way, one of my customers is here, and I have been discussing with him regarding one project in Ahmedabad. Okay, ladies only construction site. So I approached him. Almost all these large construction companies said no. They said no, safety issue, concern of customer, we will take risk because anything goes wrong, we will wait for it. In fact, I said I will give them accommodation outside, I will provide transportation, okay, because I was trying, I don't want to name a customer, because I was trying in Bihar, Purnia, and we have a construction site in Kishanganj. I said I will take ladies from Purnia, I will give them accommodation outside site, I will give them transportation, only you have to allow me to put them on the site. They said no. I was fortunate enough that finally I got one customer, smaller customer, but he said, okay, you can construct my godowns. Okay, he was constructing large godowns, 12 large godowns in Sonabhadra. Do you know where is Sonabhadra in Uttar Pradesh? Sonabhadra is close to Varanasi. I think all of you must be knowing Varanasi, right? Because we go for God. Sonabhadra is close to Varanasi, just 2 hours drive, but it's Nakshal district. It's on the border of 4 states. And because of the Nakshal, which we call it as LWA, left-wing extremist activities, ladies need something like this. I said, good, we got the opportunity. I asked my people, how many ladies we can train and put on that construction site? They said around maximum 300. I said, good, now this is pilot, so certainly we have to expect that large number of ladies will drop out. So let's train 600 ladies. We set up a training center in Sonabhadra. We train 600 ladies from Sonabhadra, from the various villages surrounding Sonabhadra, and then ready to go. We selected 300 and we said, let's put them on the construction site. All ladies, not more than 10 gents. 10 gents only for critical reasons, safety or some other things, and some other project management. I said, okay, let's give it 1 month and review. After 1 month, I had a review. What is the dropout? 0% dropout. All ladies are coming. What is the absenteeism? 10% absenteeism. I said it must be flash in the pan. There is something wrong or I am missing something. Let's give it some more time. So we waited for 3 more months, and then after 3 months, I did a review. What is dropout? 1%. What is absenteeism? 10 to 15%. Surprisingly, all these ladies, they were getting in the bus at 7:30 in the morning. They used to take 1 hour to reach site. 8:30 they will reach site. They will work for whole day. In between 1 hour they will take lunch break. They were working very hard. They were willing to learn. Okay, and they were picking up the skill. More importantly, they were grateful about it. We were depositing money in their bank accounts, they were withdrawing it and they were utilizing it for their home needs, family needs, not their personal needs. Many of them were buying seeds, their school, kids' education and all that. But there were issues also. Issues where the ladies were comfortable working in groups. They felt safe working in groups, and obviously they were finding it to work better because they could do gossiping also, right, along with work. That was one thing, and second thing is that the productivity. We are losing huge money because of the less productivity. We almost lost 50 lakhs rupees in first 3 months because we have some calculation. The salary which we are giving and the productivity, it has to match. The good part is, at the end of 3 months, from 4th or 5th month onwards, the productivity improved, and then we started making operational break-even. So we stopped losing money, which we are losing. What was the takeaway from that project? The key takeaway from that project was that ladies can do any work. Ladies can do even that skilled work and hard work, okay, which we normally feel it's the main job. Ladies can do that work. Okay. Second thing is, Ladies only construction side is a reality. It can happen, and I am saying that it should happen more. Third thing is that if we have long-term projects, I am again saying that suppose if we have around 2 years project, then it's the worth investing that money for first 3 months. What I call it as losses. And I personally feel all the construction companies should start thinking it as a business model. When you have scarcity of resources, when you are not getting skilled resources, frankly, this is the much better model to work on. And my job is to go and approach more and more construction companies and try to convince more. At least some will accept, right? And some will agree to do more projects. Finally, what was there for me of this exercise? Just about an year back, my target was to train and create employment for 1 lakh youth school dropouts, okay, across India. I have added one more line saying that in addition to 1 lakh youth, now we have to create employment for 1 lakh women in next 5 to 10 years. Okay. And if any one of you have any thoughts or any ideas on how we can create that, need not be only construction industry of any way, then please feel free to call me or send me emails, and I will be more than happy to take it forward.